Welcome to the latest episode of Authenticated with your host, Kate McLeod. I am intrigued by people. People watching, I love. People learning, that's where I'm insatiably curious. I'm interested in the why and how of the creative mind's pattern of thinking, the subtext to the creative thinker, or in its more conscious and malleable form, the creative conscious. Because when you are so clear on yourself via the triad of consciousnesses, then you become reflective to others. Meeting yourself is an infectious practice because what feels good is infectious and something I think we could all use a good dose of. So join me in conversations with a diverse arsenal of creative thinkers, from artists to entrepreneurs to serial thinkers ready to optimize their creative conscious. With me, self-made and self-proclaimed creative entrepreneur. Sounds hot, right? Kara Brothers, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
I should have probably said it before, but it's Kara. But actually, we could record this. Keep the recording.
Okay.
Because you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? We'll take that at the very...
We'll let it go. Oh, that's so annoying. But I'm like, I decided a long time ago that I was going to correct people. I used to be like, I was like, no, tell them. The person wants to know how to pronounce your name. I
genuinely want to know.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's funny because I know so many Karas, but you're Kara.
I'm Kara.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, and then I get inside your head, and now you don't even know
now,
what
I'm
to
so
say.
Sorry.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay, so Kara.
It's Kara.
Hi. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you. Kara Brothers, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here. I feel like I've been talking to you the moment since you walked in, just like excited and like vibing off of you.
I feel the same way about you. I'm like thrilled to be here. I love this setup. I was telling that the doorman was just like, oh my God, I love her. And I was like, okay, this is good vibes already.
Yeah. There's something I feel like I connect to you about environment specifically, where it's like environment has a lot of sounds if you'll be willing to listen to it.
Yeah, 100%. I know.
Yeah. And if you don't contribute to it too, then what are you going to get back? Or why would you expect anything back if you're not contributing to the space that you're in?
Oof. Yep. Yeah. Go there immediately. 100%. Yeah, I know. And I feel like I'm just like refining that practice for myself now, where it is like, okay, the energy that you give off, means something and it comes back to you. I think I always operated like that, even as a kid. Like, I'm nice. I'm generally like low ego, whatever. But it becomes more and more important when you're leading or when you're wanting to manifest or start your projects and stuff. So yeah, for sure.
Why do you think that was something you always had? Is that just something you don't have memory of not having?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think in my heart, I obviously like want to have friends. I want to be loved. I want everybody to feel that way too. So I think as a kid, I was just nice and I was just offer an extended hand wherever I could see one. But I don't think it was that conscious. I think I was just like, oh, let's be friends. Like, let's have fun. Like my essence most of the time is lightness. Like, we're here for a little while. Let's play. Let's have a good time.
Oh my God. Yeah. Wait. Okay. So that kind of speaks to your whole ethos that I've observed online, which is like meeting people where they're at, but letting an environment sit where whatever needs to come out can come out.
Oh my God. Yes. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's so cool because it also means that you're hearing more than people typically do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What did you just say? And how did you name that? Where it's like, okay, letting an environment, kind of letting things be what they are, and then watching what comes out of that. Yeah.
Like a patience thing, which I think is also hard because I think patience in a situation like that means that you would also have to trust it very deeply. You are someone who strikes me as someone very closely tied to your intuition. And I'm so curious what your relationship with your intuition has been like through childhood up until now.
Yeah, I know. And I love that you mentioned patience. Like, that's something we should talk about too. I'm not inherently a very patient person, but that is changing as I'm becoming more intuitive. So it's so funny that you draw that connection. It's totally true. I don't know. I have always been able to dream up things and have them come my way. Not easily or quickly necessarily. Like, I think I've always called myself a late bloomer. So it's just like 40, which I don't consider old at all, but it's just like when I'm kind of coming into my own now. And I just, ran a company, which was amazing, but, in my late 30s and all of this stuff. So I think I'm refining this intuition only very recently. And as a kid, I've been reflecting on that too. I think I did spend a lot of time in the woods by myself.
Hell yeah.
So I kind of am getting these flashbacks of like, oh, I was in the woods and I was by the creek and I was chilling. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I was making little worlds and universes. So I think I was comfortable in fill in the blank environment, nature, but intuition and all of that stuff. So I'm like, it's all coming back now, though, really.
Why do you think it's circular now?
I know. Well, stepping into lead Starface was hard. And it took a lot of inner work for me to be able to do that in the way that felt natural and authentic to me, and also do a good job. And like you said, like serve the people that, were working with and for me. So I had coaches and people that would help, and the coaches would be like, whoa, you're really intuitive. And I would be like, oh, no one's ever said that to me before. So what was I, probably 30, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But it was a while ago. And so I was like, oh, no one said that to me before. And so I just like, when people say something to you and see you, then you're just like, oh, okay. So just recently I've been like, I'm an intuitive person. I guess I am an intuitive person. And then I would kind of look back and be like, oh, I have made all of these decisions not based on any necessary logic or what people thought made a lot of sense. And then I'm like, oh, I've been following this all along. And so now I'm like, okay, let's go off. Like, how deep can I go with this? Basically.
But that, like, I don't know. I think that is the secret sauce to a creative thinker. And you don't have to know, because ultimately I think that your answer would change every single day.
Yeah.
And that's how you stay malleable.
Yeah.
I love that you were at Starface. And when you say that it took a lot of inner work, is that imposter syndrome that you're referring to?
It must have been. It must have been totally. And I didn't know, I've never done it before. So it was also like, it was part imposter syndrome and it was part like, no, literally, how do I do this?
Yeah. Like, no, tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody teach me. Yeah, for sure.
How do you learn? Typically, do you know?
I think I'm a multi-sensory, multi-dimensional learner, And so it's like, I think I do better not having someone talk at me, but sometimes I'm like, no, listening actually reinforce. So I think I'm a visual learner, but then I need a reinforcement of the auditory, and then I always have to do something myself. Like, I have to experience, or else it just kind of goes out the window. So I kind of need a little bit of everything.
It's like a Mod Podge, right?
It is.
Does your intuition tell you when, or do you just kind of let yourself lead yourself to where you're going?
I think I let myself lead myself, but what is that intuition?
Yeah, but
I mean?
that's my question is like, isn't that...
Exactly.
Because this all makes me think of your relationship with your ego.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a really cool one, because you pivot so quickly, and also asking questions.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't ask questions because they're like, oh, I'll go home and like research it later and figure it out. It's like, no, I'd rather know right now. And also, if you seemingly so clearly like know, just tell me.
Yes.
It's going to help everyone here, because I also think helping explain anything out loud to someone helps you understand it more, because if you can't answer a question about something, then you don't actually have knowledge about it.
Yeah. Yes, I love all of that. It's like the ego is interesting because that Eckhart Tolle's book, something about the ego, I'm forgetting it. Oh no, The Power of Now, or like something about the soul. I'm forgetting the name. But I read that book in high school with my friend, and it talked about like the ego and separating it. And I was just like, what is this? Yes. And I just never really understood it. And now again, I'm like, okay, the ego. Separate this voice in your head that wants to protect something so much. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I do want to protect. Okay, what's this perfectionism? Like, okay, so I'm noticing that and I'm releasing it. But you know what's coming around again? Where I'm wondering, I'm having a harder time. I don't speak in complete sentences, by the way. So I'm
Neither do I. It's all right.
So I'm thinking about, embarking on my creative journey that I'm on right now, and how don't you need a little bit of some ego? And so I'm trying to find mine again. I'm trying to find like, okay, what is the voice in my head that tells me that I'm that bitch, or that I can totally do this? And even if I don't have to listen to it all the time. It doesn't have to make me better than somebody else. It doesn't have to do whatever. But I probably need to dial that up now again, as I'm on the bottom of a new journey. So my relationship to my ego is like, wild right now.
Well, yeah, because you're figuring out how to use it as a tool, it sounds like.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great, right?
Yeah.
And that makes me think of like those memes where it's like, where did these people find the audacity? It's like within myself.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
where.
100%. Yeah.
If you had to synthesize your passion into like a phrase,
Right.
you have a lot.
Yeah. That's
And it's really beautiful. I'm just
you.
curious.
Thank you. My passion. Gosh, I know you're right. I have so much passion. I have like a passion. Now this is just coming to me. I'm like, I have a passion for life. Sounds so dumb. But like I love this. Like literally coming to your house and being on this podcast and starting my own podcast and running a company and going on the retreat and meeting a new friend or watching, like I just really love the texture and richness of life. And that involves, of course, for me at least, deeply understanding yourself and unwinding the things that aren't working and dialing up what is working and being able to share what you've learned and talk about that with other people and build each other up. So my passion is this zest for life, like your own life, how you want to live it, and digesting it and sharing it with other people.
Ooh, yeah.
I think that's it.
That's like a feedback loop of like who you involve, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh, fun.
It's fun because it's like, how could you not include the people who you're meaning to inspire or inform or influence or challenge even? Like,
Exactly.
it's like if you don't know the opposite of anything, if you don't know the other side of anything, it's kind of hard to say that you know
Yep.
that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's an interesting frame.
How has it been building out the company yourself versus building out someone else's?
Man, I mean, they're both hard. Building out someone else's company, you're able to hide a little bit. Or, like some decisions you could be like, oh, it was their decision, like whatever, that didn't work. But also on the flip side, you want to do a great job. So there's a lot of pride and like excellence that goes into like, no, I want to prove to these people that I respect and that I love and that gave me a chance that I can crush this. So there is like this excellence behind it, working for somebody else. But for your own thing, you can't hide. And it's a lot lonelier, which I know people have talked about. And also, I used to tell myself, oh, I don't know. And my coach would be like, why do you keep saying you don't know? You know that you do know. So a lot of times now I'll say, oh, I don't know exactly what to do. I don't know what to do next. And rather than be able to workshop it with people and other people and have this big infrastructure around the company or even deflect to a founder or something, I'm like, Kara, you're going to have to tap into what you think that you know and run from there.
And that's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not straightforward. It's like, how do you know? How do you know what step to take next, frankly?
And I think that's the power. It's just saying you don't.
Yeah, you
like,
literally don't.
There's this quote that says, I may have been wrong, but I wasn't confused.
Ooh.
I'm going to forget who said
I may
it.
have been wrong, but I wasn't confused. Cool quote.
Same thing for me with entrepreneurship. It's difficult and it gets like really scary. And sometimes it feels like there are months where it's just ego death after ego death after ego death. I do value the fact that I can like take feedback and change something, make something better, incorporate it. I love being able to, do that and just be like, okay, so it's not working. But at the end of the day, like if my consulting style isn't hitting you and you're the one who wants it, then we need to figure that out.
Interesting. Have you always been like that? Able to it also feels like you don't take things very personally.
Mm-mm.
Oh, cool.
No, sometimes I do. I do in personal life, but when it's work, I just think that we're not working on me. We're not working on you. We're working on this like thing in the middle and we're creating something.
Beautiful.
And I don't think that anything is ever going to be solely like my contribution. Like that doesn't exist. It's always going to have other people having influence, whether it's like beta tester feedback or whether it's like a client who's like, this doesn't work or something flopping after a big launch. And that's fine. It makes me think of the stock market also, like things where I'm like, yeah, I had these wins today, but I also had these losses. And I think that there's just a balance at the end of the day. Yeah. But for work, I easily don't take things personally, but like I think actually, I'm just realizing this now. I think taking things personally is actually a form of intimacy for me.
What do you mean? Taking things personally is a form of intimacy, like between you and me, like if I said something, or between you and yourself.
Well, between me and like, it would be between me and you, because if you said something to me that was hurtful or that I took personally, my interpretation of that is, whoa, like you're making me wear something that you're feeling.
Totally.
Yeah. And I'm like, and now I'm taking it personally because I'm like, whoa, why do I have to hold that?
Oh, cool.
And then also like, if we're in close proximity, why aren't you taking care of that? You're able to.
Amazing.
That.
Yeah. So healthy.
Thank you.
Love
That. I mean, many years of therapy.
Yeah, of course.
And lots of coaching too.
Yeah.
And I love you saying that you're doing that. You have a coach.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome.
Dude, I know. You need like, I mean, I think we both believe that you have everything inside of you to do whatever you want, but you need, I feel, a mirror or a reflector or someone to call you on your stuff to just like keep elevating your game.
Yes. And that person who knows you so well, they won't let you get away with shit.
Exactly.
It's easier to take feedback from me from a coach than it is sometimes like my partner.
Obviously.
I'm like, what would you know?
Yeah, exactly. I literally don't want to hear it from you. It's so
yeah,
funny.
I'm like, okay. And
100%.
then later I do something and he'll be like, wait, that's what I'm like, shh.
Yeah, exactly. Just take it as a win and let's just leave it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I changed. So it's good. It's good.
100%.
So you went on this trip recently to Turkey to meet and study with a 16th generation sensei. I need to know everything, because I imagine that you were expecting to find something there. I'm imagining that there were things that surprised you there. I want to know all the things.
Right. Oh my gosh. I know. I want to share all the things. And I don't something that I'm working on or grappling with rather is I think I am in my guru teaching era of my life, but I'm also in my living student era as well. And so it's like, how do I, not that I need to have an answer. In some spaces, I'm like, I really want to be the teacher. I want to share this. And some I'm like, no, help me absorb everything that you have for me.
I love that.
Yes. Okay. So I'm on a bit of a sabbatical. I'm so grateful for it. And I'm emerging as a whole different woman. And with that, I know it's crazy.
That's
I am
amazing.
I'm open as hell. I'm open right now to so many things. And one of those is wild and crazy experiences that just like shake me up, which I always have been. But I saw a friend of mine that said that she was going to go on this retreat. She's actually not a friend. She's a really cool woman that lives in London that I like obsessed with, but now we're friends. And I was like, oh my gosh, samurai retreat. Like, what is this? So I think I was thinking, deep down, I'm a warrior woman, obviously.
Yes.
Where is she? How can I find her? You know? So a part of me was that. Two is Turkey. Okay, I've been to Istanbul, but this is like a land I don't really know. And it's kind of different and like a little uncomfortable. And then I was like, okay, executive women and leadership. So I was just like, okay, women for me are a nice place to be. I love women. I also love men, but I really love like women.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking like, okay, this seems weird as hell. And I'm definitely going to leave this as a different person. So that was the impetus for doing this.
That is so cool. That's leaning into awe and wonder and what if and like, I don't know. And like, that's so cool.
Thank you.
And because you had never done anything like that. So it was like
nothing.
So this is the most unknowing thing you've ever.
It is actually. It is. It's so funny that you say it because people ask like, why did you do this? And I'm like, oh, weird. I never thought about why I would do it. I just like thought it was interesting and a little bit different. And so I think people, well, I'm curious if people thought I had some interest in Japanese culture or samurai shit or anything. And like, it was nothing like that. I am in my era of pulling from different worldly practices to just help round out my leadership, my humanness, my all of this. And so obviously I live in New York with you, and I have a particular upbringing where I went to church sometimes and all of this stuff, but I don't have a lot of well-rounded experience from other parts of the world. And I'm just now learning like from Native Americans. I'm learning from like Hinduism. I'm taking things from all of these ancient practices and just building up my repertoire of like badassery. You know what I mean? So that's also what I'm doing. If I'm honest, in my student journey, I'm just like taking from different places to learn. It's so fun, by the way.
Yeah. No, and it has
really
to be.
fun.
And also all the storytelling is essentially the same.
Exactly.
We're all from the same stardust. We're all trying to get the same messages
100%.
because we're the same species that's all just wired to survive. And so like, why not? And especially through religion, because I feel like the more I grow, the more I find out, the more I'm returning to that.
100%. Exactly. And isn't that amazing?
Yes.
It's so powerful too. Like, I'm like sweating just thinking about it.
I know, I'm a little sweaty too. And I'm like, oh, I feel it.
Yeah, I know. You can go so deep with it. And it's been a lot of fun. So it was all of that, Kate. Like I was surrounded by women who are on different journeys in their, I guess, let me pause. What I learned there, I mean, like I could talk to you about this forever.
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah.
So you'll have to edit. Yeah. As I generally don't know what will serve the people that are listening, what will serve my audience, your audience, just people. So I'm just like an open book about it, about most things. So I learned that to be a samurai is to be a spiritual being. So it was a very spiritual retreat, which probably was why I was drawn to it without even really knowing it. Okay. So it was a lot of meditation with your sword, meditation on the beach. It was a lot of meditation of connecting to nature and literally like using different symbols to conjure up animal, beings and all of this stuff. It was the art of calligraphy, but using energy to transfer from this space to the other, which is the sword, a transfer of energy. You just mentioned something so profound about the shared space between us. I learned that in Japanese culture, you bow. And I just thought you were, bowing for respect, but you're bowing to the shared space between people. Like, oh, how beautiful is that?
I love that.
I know.
I had no idea about that. And I love Japanese culture. I love Japanese art because it feels energetic. That's so cool. And that also feels like something I'll tell clients is like, find a creative way to introduce yourself to people.
Oh, cool.
Like it doesn't have to be like at a networking, hello, it's me. It can be sliding into someone's DMs. It can be, inviting them to an event that you're participating in a different way. It doesn't always have to be so like transactional like that. The way that you're talking about using like a transference of energy to do calligraphy, those are things that feels like a bunch of things got put into a jar. I shook them up and then I said, do calligraphy with this intention. But only when we explore things that feel mundane or even like big things, when we explore them with the thought of, well, what else could do this or what else could this be? I think that's when you find more stuff there.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah.
What surprised you there?
What surprised me there? I mean, that's such a good question. I think, like, if I'm honest, what's coming to me, I just like wrote about this on my Substack. Being in Turkey, the Turkish people are very prideful people. I didn't realize that. Like, very nationalist, I think is the right word. I don't mean that in a negative way. They are so prideful of their country. And then being immersed in the Japanese history. Wow, what a there's so much pride and tradition there. And so I almost felt like a fish out of water. I was like, oh, America's young. I'm a Black woman and our history is, complicated. And so I was just kind of like, oh, wait, I don't have thousands of years of ancient history that I can go back to. But then if I'm honest, the practices that we were doing there, I was able to quickly connect, to my ancestors that I may not know, or to the nature that I believe is always, interacting with us. And I found women there who helped me see things in a new way. It was like this very quick cycle that I've been on my life where it's like, oh, I'm sad about something, like something's causing me some sort of feeling. How can I metabolize that, but also notice where that's not true in the space that I'm in, and like let that be the truth. Boo, heady, but
yeah, no. But allowing there to be space.
Yeah.
And for it to settle.
Yeah.
This might be abstract, but what did that feel like in your body? Like finding that space?
Kind of like empty. Yeah. And then in this samurai practice, there are different elements. You work with the elements of the earth, and the sky element, which we did on the last day, was emptiness. The sensei talked about the sky energy is open and empty because in Japanese culture, or maybe just in samurai culture, they believe that you can fill up yourself with whatever energy you want. If you need fire energy, you can harness it. If you need, earth grounding energy, you can harness it. And so I've just been like, be the vessel of openness and fill it in with what you are needing and what you can conjure. Like, bro, what? I know. Dude.
We're vessels.
Yeah, we're vessels. Exactly.
And that leans so much into, for me, I'm like, oh, that's so much into the knowing of I don't know. Because I don't know, to me, it's not limbo, but it's not silent. It's not loud. I don't know is just like, well, I'm just looking. I don't know yet.
Oh, interesting. Right. I don't know doesn't have to be, I don't know. Like, doesn't have to be confusing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't have to be anything. It just be like, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all that space. In June, I had endometriosis removal surgery. And since then, my body's changed tremendously. Wow. But then for 2 weeks after, I'm like laying on rest. And I have, for the first time since I was 16, no pain in my body.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I found exactly what you're talking about. Space. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, there's no pain in my body.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, so I don't think I'm actually going to feel any then.
So powerful.
And it's like, so I've become so much more attuned to my environment since, where if something's not, I'm like, oh, no. Because that's actually a choice. And I don't know doesn't have to be like, oh God, like, I don't know. What do I do? It's like, no, fun. I just don't know yet.
Yeah.
But you said you're not typically a patient person. So where does your patience come in for? Maybe it's a trust. I don't know.
I think it's a trust. Okay. And you know what? I'm working on this because obviously we all are changing very fast if we're lucky, I think. And one of these women on the retreat, Sharmadine, she wrote a book. It's really great. And she would say, some of the stories that we've been telling ourselves might not be true any longer. And, we know that. But because I would be on podcasts and I would kind of like have my bio down, it would be like, oh, I this and I that. And I'm not very patient, or I used to have anxiety. And I'm just like, now when I say these things now, I'm like, oh, that's not true anymore. So if I'm honest, now I think, and this is the first time I'm reflecting on this, I actually think I have become a patient person. So crazy. And so, and I think the patience has been able to come out because there is a trusting, and there's a trusting in myself, and there's a trusting in the universe and other good people who are now just being drawn to me, where it's like, okay, I don't think everything's going to be great. But I don't think I'm in control, and I don't think I have to control the thing. So just like tone it down a notch, and every minute act in your best interest, or the best interest of what you're hoping to create. And you just got to hope that when you look up at some amount of time, things have progressed in the way that you want.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
That is good. That is like, it's changing my mind a lot. And it's like the agreement to say that none of us are in control. I
know.
And when you think you are, that's when bad stuff happens.
I know. And that's when you feel all tight and you get mad, like it just doesn't, to your point, like it doesn't feel good in your body, and it doesn't feel good in the energy that you're projecting into a space. So therefore, like, how could that possibly produce the lightest, most amazing outcome for you?
Yeah.
And I think about that in like parenting and stuff too, where, okay, fine, I do kind of try to control my kids a little bit. And it's just like, okay, no, now you have to apply that to this space, which is one of the hardest spaces to just like let things be because you're so like worried.
And you love them with your whole fiber.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Not your whole fiber, but every fiber.
Yeah,
of your
exactly.
being.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
So what is that balance? May I ask that as like a mother, what that balance is?
Yeah. Of like control, trust, faith, like all of this stuff we're talking about.
I mean, that stuff. Yeah. Cause like we're talking about it in terms of like work, but your work to me is art, and life emulates art emulates life.
Yeah.
So like, what is that balance at home and like the way you practice it outside of
Yes.
work?
I love that question because I think it's so important. I don't know about how other people live their life, but for me, the way that I live my life in private and, is the way that I live my life in my public space. So with this growth that's happening, I am having to renegotiate how I treat my husband when he's annoying as hell, my kids when they're not behaving how I really wish they would. And I'm just like, what would it feel like if I let this be as it was and let each moment unfold, meet the moment as my very best self. That doesn't mean I meet it as like this fairy all the freaking time.
Yeah.
But maybe it just means like, okay, you're going to keep your mouth shut. Okay, you're going to keep your mouth shut again. Okay. And then like, let's just see how we feel in 10 minutes. Okay, now we're going to like put on a song. And then we're going to dance to the song. Okay, that moment is lifted a little bit. You know, like just like in each moment, like meet it the best that you can. And so that's how I'm trying to approach parenting and marriage right now, especially in the harder moments.
Because you happen to know these people so well, what do you think allowing that space does for them?
So much. I don't know if everybody else feels this way, but I control a lot of energy in our house. And
that's real.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's like they can feel when I'm annoyed and tense and in a bad mood. And that kind of gets on my nerves because I'm not always going to be in a bad mood. But I notice that when I allow them space to be imperfect human beings or human beings that I can't control, it just like takes the tension out of the space a little bit. And, you know, for that, with that, like we're talking about empty space, which is such an interesting theme.
Yeah.
You can do so much more from that, you know? And so from there, as a family, as a house, then we can kind of like, okay, let's just bring the space back to neutral. And then we can kind of go from there.
That place where it's like you can see all the options because you haven't decided to focus on a couple.
100%.
It makes me think of like a room. I've never been in this room, but like a room, you're in the middle, and then there's a million doors around you, and you're like, which one? Oh, wow. You know, and like any single way, like I was talking to Lindsay Mango, who's a life coach, about this, and she was saying all paths will work, which I'm trying so hard to follow now as a creative, as an entrepreneur, especially when not many people know what I'm talking about when I say creative thinking, or I say not everyone's the same kind of learner. Some people are auditorial, some people are visual, some people are tactile. I, for some reason, have one of those abilities where I was fortunate enough to grow up in a household where I wasn't responsible for like a lot of like chores or anything like that. But I never a day in my life had to ask anyone how to do laundry, how to do the dishes, how to make a bed, how to fix a toilet. Like I can, for some reason, look at something and I'm like, oh no, I know how to fix that.
No way.
My dad has it too.
What is that?
I read an article about it. I forget who published it recently, but it is a different kind of perception, like a different kind of learning where you look at something and you just, not that I'm like actively disassembling like this frame in my head, but you actively wonder how it fits together.
Wow. Cool.
So long as I observe it, I can definitely do it.
That is so incredible. Can you do that with like physical things, but also like intangible things like a business or a relationship and stuff?
I can very easily understand like the foundation of it.
How
And
cool.
like, you know, because like a lot of people are like, well, I'm coming to you for creative consulting, but like, you know, I have the following degrees. And I'm like, you're right. And I don't. But I know what creative solutions look like.
Absolutely.
And I know a good opportunity when I see it. And I also know when you explain how a system works to me, I can explain to you how maybe it could potentially, you'll have to vet it if it does.
Yeah.
But what if you tried this?
Yeah, I feel that.
Because something I really wanted to talk to you about today was this idea of things becoming democratized moving forward. Like we're moving into a realm of entrepreneurship and individual thinking and new ways of thinking and steering away from these big, for lack of a better term, but also relevant, like corporate systems.
Right.
And things are becoming democratized. Like we are now in a society where we've been in for a while, but I'm hearing more now than ever. I don't want inaccessibility. I want accessibility. And I think a lot of that is going to come through creativity and solo entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're in that space right now.
Yeah. I know. It's a weird world.
It's weird. It's so weird.
How crazy to think like what's about to go down.
I know, it's so
we just have no
exciting.
idea. I know, it's so exciting.
so happy.
It's so crazy. I feel the same way. Okay. What's your sign, by the way?
Taurus.
Okay.
Double Sag.
Oh my God. Oh, Taurus double Sag, and you have your full moon tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, what are you? I have to know
Aquarius,
first.
Scorpio, Sag. I know. Got a lot going on.
That's really fun. Okay,
So
no
fun.
wonder. All right,
Yeah,
everything makes sense. Thank you.
Sorry for that introduction. Yeah, you know what? I it's not that I can see the future, obviously, but I'm on the exact same page that you are, where I don't know about what's about to go down, but we can tell that we're not going to be reliant on the same systems that we were, that we are barely today. And I do believe that applies to our jobs, education, all these things.
Yeah.
And I don't exactly know what it means. I like want to keep working this out, like just my predictions for fun. But I do think that the power lies within the us as individuals, but also in our collective as well. So the more that, you know, we know ourselves, the more that we like love ourselves and can express ourselves creatively. And the more that we lock in with our folks and do that together, like that is where the power is going to lie. And again, I don't like know why or what that means or anything, but I believe it wholeheartedly.
I do too. It feels like there's a big recalibration.
Yeah.
That's why I've found and maybe you too, but found myself in spaces recently where people are very confused by what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I think that's a good sign that I'm on the right path.
Love it. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, you're right, because it's different. And it's been different because I've been playing these systems. And in my career, it was a constant play of like, well, I don't like that. There's no leverage there. You know, I know I'm really talented and I love acting and I do all this education and I do all these roles and like have so much fun. And I'm like, then I'm looking at the producer and I'm like, wait, what do you mean I'm the last thought? Like, I want to be one of the first thoughts because I want to influence. I want more influence here.
Absolutely.
Ever since I was a kid, I was like, I just want to be a really good influence. I want someone to look up to because I didn't really find anyone that I looked up to. And I was like, they're doing exactly what I want to do.
Love it.
I don't know what I want to do, but I'm not seeing it yet.
Exactly.
So you have to like make it in that space. But I think individualism, especially probably with the internet, this is like the residual arousal of having immediate access to everyone and everything. But individualism, I feel like, is going to be the hottest commodity for a while because we're so conformed and basically addicted to the auto-tunedness of conformity.
Yeah. You're right. Actually, I know. I forgot all about that, where it's like we're all looking the same. We all dress the same. People are getting the same surgeries. You want the same job. And it's just like, no. And as AI just makes that more and more, you're right. We're going to be craving the individual. I think not scares me, but what I want also is connection, obviously.
Yes.
Where it's just like, we could all go out and do our own thing, launch our own podcast, our newsletters, all of our own businesses, like, you know, and like, yes, please. But also in the age of convenience and technology, we all could break apart and just be living in our own silos of doing our own thing on the internet, where I could see that happening, but that feels hollow too in a way. So I'm wondering what the mixture is.
Because I'm wondering, with all this individualism, how are we going to find ways to work with each other?
I think about that too.
Yeah. And I
think about that too.
And I also love to, like, I love going into like a theater piece blind. I love going into a movie blind. Like, I don't know what anything is about. I also have been playing on this podcast for the past, I think, 30 episodes now. But I'm like, how blind do I want to go in meeting somebody?
Yeah.
Because I also don't like that question at networking events or anything. What do you do?
Who asks that anymore?
Why do you ask that? Yeah. I'm just asking. I'm like, what's exciting you right now?
Yes.
What's bringing you joy? What inspired you today?
100%.
Those are all kind of corny, but
better. Yes, way
but
better.
Better than that, because it becomes either the qualifier or the disqualifier. And it makes you someone worth talking to or no longer worth talking to. And
brutal.
No offense, but no one is that perceptive.
Exactly. 100%.
Humans are way deeper than that. So I don't want, I am curious moving forward. It's like when we all have our own Substacks, we all have our own businesses, we all have our things like that. I am wondering how we do work together.
How do we work together? We don't know, right?
I don't think I know.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that a lot too. In the world of individual brand building and thought leadership, because I do believe not all, most people, actually maybe not most people, a lot of people have something to say.
Yes. Yeah.
I took it down. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people.
But it's like, aren't we better together? You know?
Yeah.
And so I think about that. I'm grappling with that with, you know, businesses that I'm thinking about starting. It's like, yeah, I want a Kara show, period. But I also want an aggregator of other people's power that is way different and, you know, cuts to different audiences and different people than mine. And I'm like, oh, is that a TV network? Am I going to build a TV network? Jeez, I don't know.
I'm
So,
into
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm into that. I mean, what does it look like? And I also don't think the network equivalent I think we're going to build it along the way, like how that works, because even the systems in place that are massive corporations or big, networks, they're seeing the cracks, they're recalibrating. It's so funny. We're like, I'm asking you like, oh, you don't know. We're in a realm of, I don't know.
Yeah, we are. Ooh, I know. And I think like, my hope for the world is we're in this realm of I don't know. And then most people are gripping at, well, then what can I control? Let me control. And I actually think the answer is release and be in this space of I don't know that, you were talking about, where it's just like, that's actually not a bad place. It's a very free place. So I'm just thinking about that too for the first time.
It's going to be, I mean, I don't know. I don't think most of the world would ever really get on board with, I don't know.
I know. Yeah, I guess not.
Which is too bad, because I feel like there is so much to learn there. And especially when I think about it now, like just because it's November 5th, I can't help but think about yesterday, where I'm like, these systems that you claim what we have to stick to because they worked at this certain time and they worked.
Girl.
Okay, tell me why they would work now then.
Girl, I know. Gosh, we could just talk about so many things. I know. I was thinking the same thing. This will take too long, so I won't even get into it. But I'm having a lot of fun talking to people who believe different things. So I met randomly 2 Jewish women who didn't feel comfortable voting for Mamdani because of a relationship with Israel. And we had such a fun conversation of just like, okay, but you're voting based on Israel. But they were so well-rounded and so understood. They were just like, yeah, but it's not that I think anybody should own land anyway, if I'm honest. And really, they just knew it and they were talking it through and they were just like, it's not that I think I would never vote for Cuomo, but there is something about this. And I was just like, but you see, we're all scared and trying to protect this identity or this ancient connection to something that probably doesn't have a place right now or in the future. And I don't know what that looks like. I'm not saying that, but you can feel it, that voting or thinking about the way that things were for a long time ago probably will not suit the world that we're going into. And it's just interesting and hard.
I think with what you just said, we have to re-examine our relationship with history. History is to inform, not to dictate.
Ding, ding, ding. I feel that so strongly. I know. What do you think that is? Like, what? Oh,
well, because it's like, it's qualifying people. It's boxifying. It's like that. It's that generic understanding. Well, what party do you belong to? Bitch, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you define all the party systems as they exist right now, I can guarantee you I will not agree with every single definition of every single one.
Exactly.
So I'm Kate.
Yeah. And I'm figuring it out and I'm gonna, yeah, exactly. It's so interesting.
Yeah. It's like learning from past mistakes, but also knowing that circumstances have changed so much that you can't take the course of action that already existed during that time and place again. Just like you and I are never going to arrive to this time and place ever again.
Yeah.
And if we have this conversation tomorrow or 2 weeks from now, it's going to be a completely different conversation.
Wow. Why? Do you feel like that's hard for people to grasp? And that's not a common train of thought. Do you? Yeah.
I don't think it's common.
And how did you get to this? And I know we don't have to spend too much time on this, but like I'm so passionate about that, being able to change your mind, understanding that things change, not, and how have you always been this way?
Not loudly.
Okay.
Loudly in the past couple of years. I think about like 5 years ago, I really started to be like this loudly.
Cool.
Where I just didn't like the systems I was in. After getting my master's, I was realizing how much unlearning is required with all learning. Because when someone else tells me something that works for them, it's not that that's not valid information. It's that works for you, great, but what is my version of that going to be?
Exactly.
It's the critical thinking, because I caught myself a couple of years ago really just in that season of really moving on to the next level of myself, where I was like, is that my thought?
I know.
Am I just repeating what was safe to say in these systemic education systems, or because I was trying to qualify myself to get the right grade, because I was trying to be digestible or definable to other people? And I was just like, wow, I think I'm just more special than that.
Yeah. Hello.
And we all are.
Exactly.
And then also realizing that I'm not like out of the ordinary. You know?
It's both of those things. It's all of that. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Like I think I'm the most special bitch on the block, but I also know how many other ones there are because every time I meet a new person who thinks differently, I'm like, fascinating.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I want to know why.
Yeah. Yep. yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree more.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Do you remember the first thing or the first time that it clicked for you where you're like, no, I'm going to go do this instead? Like where you were like, you came against something and you were like, why do you get to say that? Or like, why did, you know, like something, a big shift for you?
Gosh, not really, but let me work through this. I remember in therapy, I used to talk about, oh my gosh, in fourth grade, like this guy that I liked called me so weird. And like that would stuck with me. So anytime someone called me weird, I would just be like, you know, distraught. And so I obviously was a little off kilter as a young kid. So I think that it was like natural, but no, what I did observe myself in adolescence and in college and stuff is that I would always remain right on the outside of a social group. And I don't think it was because I didn't feel comfortable. I think it was just like I was observing and wanting to change it, but not knowing what to say. And I was like seeing beyond what we were talking about at that time. So I think I recognized that like, oh, okay, I'm kind of absorbing the world a little bit differently than most of the people around me. And then it wasn't until I got really again recently where I would always do things my own way, but I was in corporate America. I was trying to get the promotion. I was trying to make more money. I was trying to find my husband. Like I was following the path for the most part. I would do it differently, but it's only until very recently where it's just like, all right, I'm going to gather all of those younger Karas up. And now I know I'm about to do my own motherfucking thing exactly how I want to do it. Because I've been skirting around this for 40 years.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to at least try to bring all of that together and build the world that I want to see. So not really, it's like been micro moments.
But why did that voice never change? Why did that intuition, but
Right.
why did that stick with you for so long while you're like, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And I'm doing all this, but I still know.
Yeah, no, it's magic. It's freaking crazy. You know what I mean? It's something that we all human beings have, right? Like, and obviously we can talk about all the things, but this is part of it is science. Like you said, we're all connected, back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And we all have this like knowing and understanding, and people have ignored it, so that's not as strong, and other people have listened, so it's a lot stronger. But I feel like this is part of being a human being and a living, breathing thing on earth. You just kind of have this like knowingness sometimes.
What's your relationship like with listening? Or if you had to define listening for someone else and you wanted them to absorb that definition of listening, what does that mean?
Right. Like not even listening to another person, listening in general, just period.
Period.
Yeah. I love listening. That's such a good thing. Oh, I'm like getting pings. I have to like think about listening. I'm a good listener. I love other people and I love listening. As a leader, when I was leading Starface and leading companies, one of my powers is just listening. And when I felt like I have to have the answer and I need to know, that's when I was just like do dumb things, but I'm just like, oh no, my job, my superpower is to be here, to listen, to take what I can, digest it, and spit it back. But really, I'm just like a sounding board, to you. So listening is something that's very natural to me, except it's my husband. Sorry, John Marcus. He's hard to listen to. Now I'm taking that listening to human beings and listening to non-human beings.
Yeah.
But really, right? Like, and I'm learning that creative people are like that. And I'm just now calling myself a creative person. I've always been a creative person, but now is when I'm like, oh no, you're an artiste, bitch. Like, and like that's listening to the world around you. That's listening to the sounds of the subway. That's listening to the wind blowing in the trees. And so now I'm like, I'm like extending listening to human beings, which is way more natural to me, to other things. It's amazing.
That's really beautiful. It doesn't have to be exclusive to humans. It can be anything. When Mom Donnie last night said, turn up the volume.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. In his acceptance speech, he said, I hate mentioning this man's name in real life, but he said, he's like, Trump, I know that you're
Yeah, no.
I know that you're watching. And then he said, and I have 4 words for you, turn up the volume. And my sister-in-law and I were talking about that this morning. And I said, what I love so much about that sentiment is when you turn up the noise, you can actually hear the lowest frequencies.
Really?
Like if you turn up the volume on like,
Oh, fair. Yeah. Okay.
Like, if you were listening to a song and you're like, oh, I never heard that little tiny beat before. And it also makes you be inattentive to the bigger beats. You've already heard them. You're bored. Because the person screaming at you is not the person you're interested in the room.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that? Oh,
I love that, Kate. That's really amazing. Because I think about it almost as the opposite, like turn down, like I'm cutting out the noise in my life a lot so that you can hear the things that matter the most. But I love that opposite where it's like, because I think that really resonates with where I'm at now. It's like, Kara, turn up turn up the notch so people can hear all the underwaves that you're trying to bring to them. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. No,
Or I guess Mom Donnie shared that.
He shared it. Okay, yeah, that was my interpretation. He just said the word, but I love the phrase, and I was like, that's so great because I too am trying to get over that thing of like, hurting people's feelings when they're not for me right now.
Yeah.
Talk about how the internet's not real. Anything that happens on there, like, it's not real. It's not real life. At least
real life at all.
It's not real life.
You're so right.
And it becomes that thing where it's like, yeah, but I don't want to hurt that person's feelings who I went to middle school with and did it. I know. And honestly, it just doesn't have to hurt your feelings because I'm not doing it to hurt. I'm doing it because that's just like not in my scope right now. And that's okay.
I love it.
I love that.
Powerful.
This has been powerful.
This has been so powerful.
And when you talked about just being on the outskirts of those groups and those cliques, like I almost cried at that moment.
Wow, cool.
That was really profound and gorgeous for me. Thank you so much for coming on.
This has been a delight, an absolute treat. I love what you're doing. I can't wait to follow along. Thanks for having me. This has been fun.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool.
Bye. And that's the latest. I'm honored to have been part of your thinking sphere today. Feel free to share, like, and subscribe on this platform or follow and participate on any of my social media platforms. If this practice intrigues you as much as it does me, then join us in the Me3 community, where we will work directly and you will curate a mindful method of thinking to define your own creative conscious. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of Authenticated. I love that you're here.